Okay, this is the SCMI shaper that we use quite a bit. This is one of the bigger boys, so to speak. It takes a 3/4 and 1 1/4 inch spindle, and it's very similar to the Bridgewood in terms of size and capabilities. Let's take a look down at the electrical controls on it. Okay, these are the electrical controls on the SCMI. This is a power off button. Turning this button gives the machine power to run, on, off. This is an on button, off button. This machine typically spins in a normal rotation or forward rotation. For reverse rotation, you have to turn the button to here. Now see how on forward it stays? This is neutral. And if I go to reverse, which is clockwise, it won't stay. So I have to hit it here and then turn it on for this to work. So for normal rotation, just go here and the machine turns on. You can turn it off either here or over there. For reverse rotation, what has to happen is you have to hold it in place. You see this light comes on as warning, and then you turn it on. Alright? So those are the controls of the machine. If you look down, you see we have a brake. So I can just take my foot and that locks it in place. That slows it down and stops it. Here we have the height control, which raises and lowers the table. Down here we have the spindle lock for the machine. So I'll step on this and lock it in place when I'm trying to change the spindle. Alright, here's the fence on the machine. And it's a little different than the Bridgewood, and if we look at the back we can see the controls. This is a much simpler fence, consequently not as user-friendly than the Bridgewood. By loosening these levers, we move the whole fence. What we have to do to micro-adjust the front fence is to loosen this lever right here and then do a micro adjust with this knob. So loosening this and turning this moves the in-feed fence independently from the out-feed, and then you just tighten this one back. Then you just tighten this one back down, and it works much better. The internals of this machine are very similar to that of the Bridgewood. We have a multi-step pulley system, and this one ranges in speed likewise from 3,000 to 10,000 RPMs. By pulling this lever out, it loosens the tension, then pressing it back in reestablishes the tension on the belt. Going to a smaller diameter on the motor and a larger diameter on the pulley slows the machine down. A bigger diameter on the motor and a smaller diameter on the arbor clearly speeds the machine up. Changing the spindle on this machine is much easier than on the Bridgewood. It begins by pressing down on the foot pedal, the green one, to lock the spindle, and then using a wrench on top. So I'll place this collar in here, lock the machine down, and to loosen it I turn counterclockwise. Now sometimes you'll get to a point where it just doesn't want to go anymore, and in that case we often keep a cheater bar in the bottom of the machine. So I'll slide this over, get a little more leverage, and then give it a twist. And take the spindle out. Now if I'm changing the larger spindle, I'll just drop it in. And then tighten it down. Hand tight. This is, you don't use the cheater bar to tighten it up, just to loosen it when necessary. And then this 2-part wrench and the spindle will go into the bottom drawer on the right side of the shaper cabinet. But basically, that's all that's involved in changing the spindle on this machine.